From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Good Thursday morning. Today's going to be another beautiful day out there. Plenty of sunshine, very normal highs for this time of the year. We're going to be around 95 for lower elevations on Friday, then pretty close to 100 degrees in the Tri-Cities for Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So an extended stretch of some hotter weather, and the forecast, unfortunately, staying pretty dry. Right now, you're taking a live, beautiful look at Yakima. This view coming courtesy of Bi-Mart. The wind gusts light for right now, and they'll continue to be pretty light throughout the day, which is a change in comparison to the past couple of days. Right now, temperatures in the 40s in the Cascades, 50s in the Blues, and 40s, 50s, and 60s for lower elevations. 47 in Ellensburg, 54 in Yakima, and 63 degrees for the Hanford site. Your fair forecast for today, up around 90 at the hottest part of the day. Then the nightcap's going to feel pretty good with 60s, 70s, and 80s. So your day planner forecast for today for lower elevations, all of us at the hottest part of the day going to be into the 80s and 90s. But again, looming hotter weather on the way. I'll tell you more about that on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
Straight ahead on Good Morning Northwest, a Pasco home destroyed after a sudden fire erupts. We have what homeowners and officials believe to be the cause. And business is booming in Benton and Franklin counties with new applications reaching the highest level in years. We'll talk numbers and what's behind the growth. And if you hear sirens around the Hanford site this afternoon, don't be alarmed. It's only a drill. We have all the details and more, all on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest on your side.
Good morning and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal. Jade has the day off. Now we want to begin with your top stories, and we begin with continuing coverage on the blaze that first sparked Monday near Lake Cle Elum. As of this morning, Southeast Washington crews will be demobilizing and fire operations will transition back to local resources. Now no growth was reported overnight, but fire crews are still working around the clock to keep that fire from spreading. And we turn now to our Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth to get a scope on the full impact of these fires. Josh, what more can you tell us about this?
Yeah, with this Sun Country fire, the reason they are demobilizing things is because the situation is trending in a much better direction as containment. Yesterday, it was at 10%. Now it's up to 30%. And that's in spite of the dry weather we've had. That's in spite of the winds that we had yesterday in Kittitas County. So the fact that containment went up to 30%, definitely a very good sign. Acreage staying at 72 acres. And again, this is south of I-90 near milepost 82, west of South Cle Elum. There were level 1 evacuations in place, but they have all since been lifted. So that is certainly some very good news. But with hotter and drier weather on the way, vegetation dryness going to be trending up. I'll talk to you more about that coming up a little bit later in the show.
Thank you, Josh. Now we continue our fire watch, and we're looking now at Pasco, where this morning a home is a total loss after flames tore through it yesterday afternoon. Firefighters say this happened just before 1 o'clock at the Lakeview Mobile Home Park near Highway 12. The resident told officials they had just switched on the air conditioner when they noticed smoke. They quickly grabbed their 11-month-old baby and ran outside. Multiple agencies responded and arrived to find heavy black smoke pouring from the home. Crews contained the fire before it spread to nearby homes or vegetation. No injuries were reported, and the cause remains under investigation. Now to Richland, where wildfire season is in full swing. Some of the most effective tools in the fight against flames are flying right out of the Richland airport. Apple Valley News Now's Dan Hansen says they're called Fire Bosses, single-engine air tankers that can scoop water in seconds, making a big difference on the fire lines.
They may look like crop dusters at first, but these planes pack a big punch when it comes to fighting fires. The Fire Boss can scoop up to 800 gallons of water in just 15 seconds. More than 150 are in service nationwide, including several here in Richland.
The terrain around here in the Northwest it can be challenging at times with the temperatures, the density, altitude. So a lot of that takes into account, the scoop technique and where we're at in speeds.
Griffel says conditions in the air can push the aircraft to its limits.
The winds are out and it's hot, so the performance of the aircraft is usually at its limits. So you got a lot of fire traffic in the area with the helicopters, the other LATs. Everybody's kind of rushing to the sound of the guns to go ahead and get there to get the fire put out.
Pilots often travel nationwide, teaming with ground crews to protect people and property.
Well, the Richland Airport's in a good spot. We're right next to the Columbia River, so these guys can take off and then head straight to the river, load up with water, and then head straight to the fire, which gets them in a good position.
And when the call comes in, they can be airborne in minutes.
By the time dispatch gets us the TARO, which is our knee board, which allows us to go, and the call to it, once that's handed to us, it's about 5 minutes getting in the airplane, cranking, and taxiing out for the runway. So a really close fire or initial attack that's anywhere within about 20-30 miles here, we're probably putting water on it within about 15-20 minutes.
Smaller and more maneuverable than large tankers, the Fire Boss can dive into terrain where bigger planes can't go. For pilots, every drop matters. Fast, efficient, and precise, the Fire Boss is a game changer in the wildfire fight. From the sky, they look small, but from the ground is obviously not the case. That's why they pack that punch. Reporting in Richland, Dan Hansen, Apple Valley News Now.
Thank you, Dan. Now, the planes will remain based at Richland, but could be called away to another area at a moment's notice. Taking a look at business news now. While the rest of the country is seeing fewer new businesses, Benton and Franklin counties are on the rise. New numbers from the U.S. Census Bureau show more than 3,000 business applications were filed locally in 2024, which is up more than 5% from the year before. That's the strongest growth for the Tri-Cities area since 2017. Nationally, applications dropped about 4.5% compared to the prior year, but Washington state as a whole bucked the trend, leading the nation with nearly 89% growth. Experts say the local increase could be tied to business development efforts and Washington's overall economy. Now to local education news. The Richland School District is making sure students of all abilities have the same opportunities to succeed. Apple Valley News Now's William Albert shows us how one program is helping young adults gain skills for life after school.
Since 2022, the Community-Based Transition Center has been serving students ages 18 to 22 with developmental, intellectual, and physical disabilities. The program is based out of the district office and focuses on building life skills with an emphasis on job training.
Managing money, going to the store, purchasing. We have a full kitchen, students cook in the kitchen, so it's a pretty wide variety of services.
Another big piece is helping students get out into the community with internships and job experience that fits their interests.
Our goal is for each student to leave that in the afternoon and have 3 hours of employment each day plus their transportation time. If they're not doing that, we are really flexible with the employers, so sometimes the students have to, they work in the morning if it's more beneficial to their job site.
Teachers say the program also teaches financial literacy in a very hands-on way.
Go through like a mock banking account every month, and they go through the process of paying their rent and paying their phone bill and their cable bill, and using debit cards, in a mock setting.
The Community-Based Transition Center program for the Richland School District not only helps students with physical and special needs transition into the workforce, educators tell me it helps build a sense of confidence and instill meaning.
Deshane says the growth is easy to see in students who come out of their shell.
She'd hardly speak in class, hardly speak to teachers. She was just very, very, lived in a very isolated world of her own making, kind of. And now she is one of the big leaders in our classroom. We did a tour. Actually, it was her idea to take a tour of her apartment complex because she thought it'd be great for everyone to see what it's like to rent an apartment.
For teachers like Lynette Brightman, who's also a parent of a former student, the program builds connections that the classroom alone can't.
We build those connections with not just each other, but with people in the community.
The Richland School District is continuing to make sure that all students get a good education and a fair shot to succeed. In Richland, William Albert, Apple Valley News Now.
Thank you, William. Now, currently there are 25 students in the program, which is more than double the number of students when the program first started. Looking ahead now, the Department of Energy's Hanford Field Office will be activating sirens today, and this is part of an emergency drill. The sirens will sound between 12:30 and 1:30 this afternoon. It'll be in the 300 area near the Columbia River, about a mile north of Richland. Officials say the public may hear the sirens, but no response is needed. Announcements on the speakers will include a reminder that this is only a drill, and in a real emergency, county officials would use the emergency alert system to send messages through local TV and radio, and could also activate sirens along the Columbia River to warn people on the water and nearby. And of course, that would only be in an actual emergency. And coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, the fight over political power is heating up. We'll break down why new congressional maps in Texas could have a ripple effect across the entire country. That's coming up in your national news, but first, our Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth will have your first alert weather forecast. Keep it here. Good Morning Northwest. We'll be right back.
It's safe to say that a great day's work starts with a great night's sleep. So no matter what kind of job you have, Denver Mattress has the right mattress for you. So shop the Labor Day sale today, because the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Save up to $800 on Purple mattress and adjustable base bundles. And get a $300 gift. Or check out the Colorado Twin for only $149.99. Plus get 60 months no interest and free shipping. Denver Mattress, the easiest way to get the right mattress.
At Bravo RV, we're gearing up for a huge event you will not want to miss out on.
The Forest River National Sales Event is on now. For a limited time, you can save big across our entire lineup of Forest River products. There's still time to get out, go camping, and make unforgettable memories. With Forest River, you'll find the perfect RV built for your journey and perfected for your stay. Don't wait. These amazing deals won't last long. Broadmoor RV, we make camping fun.
At Bruce Heating and Air, your comfort is our business. With over 30 years of professional HVAC experience for residential and commercial properties, your heating and air system is in good hands. In addition to providing quality heating, air conditioning, ventilation, and installation services, Bruce Heating and Air also houses a full-service sheet metal fabrication shop.
At Bruce Heating and Air, our technicians are not incentivized by commissions or to find problems. We only look for solutions to keep you cool. Now through September 30th, receive rebates up to $1,650 off on a new Daikin Fit system.
At Columbia Basin Oral and Maxillofacial Surgeons, your safety is our top priority. We are the only board-certified oral and maxillofacial surgery experts in wisdom tooth removal and dental implant placement in the Tri-Cities. With years of experience and a commitment to excellence, we ensure every patient receives safe, personalized treatment. Ask your dentist to refer you to the Tri-Cities experts in oral surgery, Columbia Basin Oral and Maxillofacial Surgeons. We look forward to meeting you.
Attention viewers, Good News Today, produced by Richland Lutheran Church, airing Sundays at 9 a.m., will be airing this Saturday, August 23rd at 9 a.m. Good News Today will air the following weekend on Saturday, August 30th at 5:30 a.m.
All across America.
Good morning. Good morning.
Wherever we are, it feels like home.
Man, it's good to be home.
GMA, it's an invitation to come together and brighten your morning.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. We do have a fire weather watch that's in place for the lower Columbia Basin of northeastern Oregon and also for the Blue Foothills. This goes from 2 p.m. to 11 p.m. for tomorrow. We're not technically going with First Alert Weather Day, but it will be an interesting setup for tomorrow. So we'll have winds out of the north and east that'll bring some very dry air into this region, so we'll keep a very close eye on that. And then in addition to that, an extreme heat watch that's been posted for pretty much all of our lower elevations. This goes from lunchtime on Saturday to the very late evening on Tuesday. So definitely a lot more to say about the heat coming up a little bit later in the show, but for right now we're going to take it back to this morning as we are in the 40s up and down the interstate in Kittitas County, except for in Vantage where we're at 62 degrees. Then in the Yakima Valley, 50s and 60s, 62 in Union Gap, 54 degrees in Yakima, 50s and 60s as well in the lower Columbia Basin, 53 in the Tri-City, 64 up towards the Hanford site. And then we're seeing the same mixture of 50s and 60s in the foothills, and then 40s and 50s in the higher terrain of the Blue Mountains. Here's your coat cast for today for the Tri-Cities. A light jacket stuff for this morning. It's going to be t-shirt weather as soon as 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock this morning. And of course, we'll hold on to that throughout the day, as high temperatures will be very normal for August 21st. So around 90 degrees in Yakima, the lower Columbia Basin, and in the Walla Walla Valley, just a touch cooler in the Kittitas Valley. But again, the heat is going to be on as we head into this weekend and next week. I'll tell you just how hot coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. In your national headlines this morning, after weeks of debate and protest, the Republican-controlled Texas House sent new congressional maps to the state Senate that will likely favor their party in the upcoming midterm elections. Now lawmakers in other states are looking to do the same. Today, the California legislature will vote on their own plan to redraw their congressional maps. ABC's Nicole D'Antonio has more.
This morning, the controversial plan to redraw the congressional map in Texas appears to be a done deal. Lawmakers in Texas voting along party lines, with all 88 House Republicans backing the bill that could give Republicans 5 additional seats in Congress in next year's midterm elections. The new maps were drawn at the request of President Trump in an effort to keep Republicans in control of Congress next year. The president posting on social media overnight saying, quote, "Big win for the great state of Texas. Everything passed, on our way to 5 more congressional seats and saving your rights." It comes more than 2 weeks after dozens of Democrats left the state to delay the vote. Democratic lawmakers were later assigned mandatory police escorts to make sure they wouldn't leave the state again.
They're trying to harm people of color with these rigged maps. The fight is personal to me, and I'm going to fight with every fiber in my body.
Democrats say the new maps were drawn based on race, which is illegal, but Republicans say the move is purely political and therefore legal. Now, governors in Democratic-led states are threatening to do the same thing. New York Governor Kathy Hochul tweeting "Game on" in response to the news. California Governor Gavin Newsom posting "It's on, Texas." To counter Texas's move, Newsom has vowed to push through a new California map, temporarily redrawing districts for the next few elections in a bid to reclaim 5 seats for Democrats. Today, the California legislature will vote on a plan to redraw their congressional maps. If it passes, it still needs to be approved by California voters. Former President Obama now backing Newsom's plan, saying it's, quote, "designed to address a very particular problem at a very particular moment in time." Nicole D'Antonio, ABC News, Washington.
And coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, Josh Colbreth is back with how your weather is looking for this weekend, the rest of the week. It's all coming up in his first alert weather forecast, which is right after the break.
Vance Heating and Air has been keeping Yakima homes cool since 1986. If your air conditioner needs service this summer, we'll take $86 off the cost of any AC repair. Don't leave it to chance. Call Vance.
Designed to impress, engineered to perform. Shop GE Appliances this Labor Day at Fred's Appliance. Save big on all GE appliances, from dishwashers to ranges, fridges to ovens, and even laundry. You won't find sales like this unless you shop locally. Like this new induction range model, only $11.99. Stop in to explore GE at Fred's Appliance. We sell appliances, only appliances.
At Smoke City for Less, we understand every smoker is unique. Explore our over 1,500 vape flavors and specialty curated selection of tobacco products. Your perfect flavor and blend awaits at any of Smoke City for Less 6 locations. Save your pennies. Smoke City for Less has the lowest prices. Find the best vape mods, batteries, kratom, and specialty products too. Our knowledgeable staff is always on hand to provide personalized recommendations. Smoke City for Less. We smoke the competition.
For the first time ever, Pasco RV and Boat Super Save is coming to the Eppo Center. Make the most of what's left of camping and boating season. Save thousands on a huge selection of new and used RVs and boats. Travel trailers, fifth wheels, toy haulers, motorhomes, pontoon boats, parts, accessories, and more. Every category, every price point, all on sale. 0 down and no payments for 90 days. On approved credit, one location. Massive savings at the Eppo Center in Pasco. Learn more at BrettsRV.com.
Stolchable Pilots, The Return.
The legacy continues. Saturday, August 30th at Legends Casino Hotel. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com and Legends Gift Shop. Dolphus, Stole Devil Violets at Legends Casino Hotel.
Attention viewers, Good News Today, produced by Richland Lutheran Church, airing Sundays at 9 a.m., will be airing this Saturday, August 23rd at 9 a.m. Good News Today will air the following weekend on Saturday, August 30th at 5:30 a.m.
This newscast sponsored by Shriners Children's Spokane. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. It's going to be another gorgeous day out there. Plenty of sunshine from the Cascades to the Blues and all points in between. And high temperature is going to be maybe just a touch hotter as opposed to yesterday, but still pretty normal stuff for this time of the year. We'll have 70s in the mountains, 70s and 80s. Well, 70s in the Cascades, 70s and 80s in the Blues, and then 80s and 90s for lower elevations. In terms of the wind gusts, much lighter compared to yesterday, but we will have some gusts out of the north and east around 20 miles per hour. This could put some very dry air, specifically into Umatilla and Morrow counties. That's just for today. Gets a lot more interesting for tomorrow. More on that in a second. But first, for tonight, clear skies and overnight lows are going to be feeling pretty comfortable out there as all of us are going to cool down into the 50s. Okay, for tomorrow, this is really going to be the first day of this much hotter stretch, really a transitional day, but about 5 degrees hotter than normal for this time of the year. So 70s and 80s for the mountains, mid to upper 90s for the most part for lower elevations, 97 in the Tri-Cities. And the winds this time much more widespread out of the north and east. Now the gusts themselves aren't going to be too strong, anywhere between 20 to 25 miles per hour, but this will put some very dry air into the region. So there will be an elevated fire risk. It's not going to be a first alert weather day. It's definitely something we're keeping tabs on. Final 3 days of the Benton Franklin Fair and Rodeo are ahead of us. Today is going to be the nicest day to get out in terms of the weather, as it is going to be a good deal hotter for Friday and especially for Saturday, up around 100 degrees in the Tri-Cities for Saturday. That's going to continue into Sunday and Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. So this is a rather sustained period of some hotter temperatures. Now, thankfully, this is only 100 as opposed to like 105 or 110, but our fire danger definitely going to go up because of this. Vegetation dryness is going to go up because of this. And unfortunately, that does coincide with some little thunderstorm chances up in the mountains for Monday and Tuesday. So we'll keep a very, very, very close eye on all of that. Here's a 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Today will be the coolest day we'll have over the next 7 days by a long shot, likely hitting 100 degrees Sunday through Tuesday. In Yakima, upper 80s Thursday, mid 90s Friday and Saturday, then a run of 99s. In Ellensburg, staying dry and heating up, although highs could start to fall off a bit by the middle of next week. In Hermiston, also a hot and dry forecast with the best chances of triple digits being Monday and Tuesday. Finally, for Walla Walla, one last day of highs in the 80s before it's a 90s takeover from Friday through Wednesday at least.
We're getting more 100s?
Yes.
No, that's not 100 at all. That's not keeping it 100. Oh, oh goodness, okay.
We had that little bit of false fall, and people were like,
hallelujah. Like
yeah, sometimes you get kind of lulled into that sense of complacency.
I was lulled
and then
for
bam,
sure.
Summer hits you.
Hits you like a slap in the face. Yeah. All right, keep it here, because coming up next in your entertainment news, Riz Ahmed is back on the big screen in a tense modern thriller where secrets, payoffs, and paranoia all collide. We'll give you a first look at Relay and why it's being called a throwback to 70s suspense.
Add more action to your summer at the Horse Heaven Roundup, August 19th through the 23rd. World-class cowboys and cowgirls are coming to Kennewick to compete in one of the top-ranked PRCA rodeos for a chance at more than $200,000. All seats are reserved, so get yours today at BentonFranklinFair.com and take in the action on the best week of summer, August 19th through the 23rd at the Horse Heaven Roundup.
The $7,500 federal tax credit for eligible electric vehicles is ending. Must take delivery by September 30th, 2025. Visit your Yakima and Tri-Cities Cadillac dealer today.
Good Shepherd provides the most up-to-date orthopedic care available. Our team of experienced board-certified surgeons, physiatrists, and podiatrists are capable of fulfilling your orthopedic needs. Services include precise joint replacements, sports medicine, all orthoscopic shoulder and knee repairs, fracture care, hand surgery, and foot and ankle care. We are here to help you with your pain and maximize your body's performance and function. Good Shepherd Orthopedics in Hermiston. Patients first, always.
This summer, Walla Walla Fair and Frontier Days is coming in hotter than ever. Rock out with Foreigner, live in concert. Feel the heat at the crowd favorite, Underwriter Honda of Walla Walla Demo Derby. And ride into the action with 3 nights of PRCA Rodeo. Food, fun, and thrills. Walla Walla's biggest tradition is coming in hotter than ever.
Get ready for adventure with the fun and rugged 2025 Ford Bronco Outer Banks from Price Ford of Yakima Valley. Nob Hill Casino's biggest prize ever. Want to drive it home? Just enter daily at Nob Hill Casino now through Wednesday, October 8th for your chance to win. While you're here, enjoy our 16-lane bowling center, mouth-watering cheeseburgers at the Last Frontier restaurant, cold drinks at the bar, and try your luck with pull tabs and table game action.
We invite you to come visit us at Price Ford of Yakima Valley and Nob Hill Casino, where the locals play.
Step right up for a fast ride free with BFT to the Benton Franklin Fair. 6 park and ride spots to concerts and more.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. In your entertainment news, we're looking at a new movie in theaters this weekend, which is calling back to the thrillers of 50 years ago.
Yeah, it centers on a technology that's almost as old. And this morning, David Daniel gives us a first look at Relax. So relax and take a look. Relay. Well, relax anyway and take a look at Relay.
I help people who see things they shouldn't have, who maybe should have looked the other way, but they can't.
Riz Ahmed stars in Relay as a mysterious man who brokers payoffs by corrupt corporations to former employees who could harm them, using a hearing-assisted relay service for secrecy.
The person who's called you will type their conversation and I'll read it to you. No calls are recorded and everything you say is confidential.
There's a van parked out front. I think they're watching me.
Lily James plays Sarah, who needs his services.
We are not bodyguards, we are intermediaries.
We can help you return the documents whilst maintaining leverage to protect you.
Has it ever gone wrong?
Sometimes we have to walk away.
It was actually a really fundamental part of finding who this person is this desire to not be noticed.
The world unfolds around, but your central character is still very much a mystery.
The film unfolds like a 1970s paranoid thriller.
I think David Mackenzie said from the very beginning he wanted to pay homage to those classic movies, A Conversation, 3 Days of the Condor, and more recently movies like Michael Clayton.
Such a kind of cinematic genre film in the hands of someone like David Mackenzie who has such skill.
Mackenzie found himself fascinated by whistleblowers.
Everyone that we spoke to, even ones who'd got a big cash payout, there was a sense of sadness to all of them, and a sense that they'd done the right thing, but no one really cared.
Why'd you do this for me?
That's my job.
In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Are you into thrillers? I love thrillers. I personally find thrillers more scary than like scary movies. Scary movies are kind of funny sometimes, but...
See, I'm into the scary movies like it's Midsommar and Hereditary, and those are
good, yeah.
Yeah.
But thrillers are kind of, I don't know, they're more... I don't want to say realistic, well, kind of more realistic, so...
You like, are you saying like heists, like Ocean's 11, that kind of thing, or more aligned with what we just saw?
That and like Obsession, I don't know. I'll have to watch this to know if it's, good or not. We'll see. All right, keep it here because coming up next, if you're heading to the fair this week, we have how you can skip traffic and catch a free shuttle across the Tri-Cities. We'll tell you exactly where and when. Plus, high school football is back in action. We're on the field at Kamiakin as players hit the ground running for the first official practices of the season. We'll get our head in the game, but first, we're going to take a look at your Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, Google's new line of Pixel phones. Artificial intelligence front and center in the Pixel 10 lineup. A new feature called Magic Queue will suggest text to add while typing out text or using an app. The basic models start at $800. Microsoft just announced its handheld gaming PC, the Xbox Ally, will be released on October 16th. The company also launching an app that will show users which games run well on the devices. No official word on a price, but multiple reports suggest it'll start around $550. And speaking of video games, Sony now hiking the price of all PlayStation 5 models by $50 starting today. The company points to the current challenging economic environment for the increase. This comes just 2 weeks after Nintendo raised the price of the original Switch console. Those are your Tech Bites. I'm ABC's Lionel Moise. Have a great day.
Disney's Freakier Friday.
We switched bodies. Being a teenager again is stressing me out.
She smells her armpit.
Does that smell me? Let's switch things up. Here's a little secret. One spray will keep you fresh all day. Skin conditioners? Someone understood the assignment. Assignment? Is there a test today? No, Mom. Fit check. Pit check. We're gonna kill this.
Feel freaking fresher under pressure 24/7 with Secret and see Disney's Freakier Friday, now playing in theaters. Rated PG.
Meet my better half. National University supports all her aunts. With personalized attention, she can be a student and a role model. She's an Ander. National University, supporting all your aunts.
Arthritis causes pain in your joints. Unlike pills, Voltaren gel is applied to the site of pain, penetrating deep through the skin to the joint, reducing intense pain caused by inflammation so you can move more freely. Voltaren, clinically proven long-lasting arthritis pain relief.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good morning, Northwest. On your side.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal.
And I'm Josh Colbert.
All right, are we at 75 now?
Yes.
Yay!
Hey, that's 3 in a row for...
Slowly but surely.
Yes, 3 in a row for a 3-degree guarantee, sponsored by our good friends at the Legends Casino and Hotel. Let's go ahead and take a look at how it went yesterday. Ooh. Remember, the day before I went with a forecast of 90, and it verified at 90, so 90
That's
is just...
That's perfect, 2 days in a row.
Yes, thank you. So 90 is just my lucky number, I suppose. Unfortunately, I'm going with forecast high 91 for today. Maybe not as lucky, so we'll find out. If it verifies between 88 to 94, jackpot's going to hit $100. If that doesn't happen, you could be the lucky winner. So find out how to win the jackpot by going to AppleValleyNewsNow.com, clicking on the contest page. You can scan the QR code that's on your screen. All right, today going to be another beautiful day with a normal brand of heat for late August. Going to transition on Friday around 95 for most lower elevation spots, and then pretty close to 100 for Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So a pretty extended stretch of some hotter weather, and the forecast staying pretty dry. Another live beautiful look at Yakima. This view coming courtesy of Bi-Mart. Looks like those are some lower level clouds or a smudge on the camera lens. I don't think that's any smoke. We'll check in on that though. And in terms of wind gusts this morning, not seeing much out there. A little bit later today, we could have some breezes in the Blue Foothills and the Blue Mountains, but pretty light for most other spots. We're in the 40s, 50s, and 60s this morning for lower elevation, so kind of a big spread out there. And your hour-by-hour forecast for today for the Tri-Cities is going to be back to around sunny and 75 by 10, around 80 at lunchtime, and then around 90 at the hottest part of the day. That's going to also apply to the Yakima Valley, the Walla Walla Valley, a little bit cooler in the Kittitas Valley. I'll take you on that zone-by-zone tour of today's forecast, and I'll show you how vegetation dryness is trending, and the trend is not good. So that's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. Starting this half hour of news with local living, if the fare's on your weekend plans, here's how you can skip the traffic. From today through Saturday, Ben Franklin Transit is offering a free shuttle from 6 park and ride locations across the Tri-Cities. That includes Knight Street Transit Center, Kamiakin High School, and 22nd Avenue. Shuttles run from 9 in the morning to midnight, hourly in the morning, and every half hour starting at 4. At Lamson Stadium in Kennewick, pickups are even faster, every 30 minutes in the morning and every 15 minutes later in the day.
This year, you're going to see a lot of ambassadors in blue vests and blue hats. We're going to be out at the Park and Ride locations starting in the early afternoon. Our ambassadors are there to answer questions. They're there to help you on the bus.
BFT says they gave about 24,000 fare rides last year, and they're hoping to hit 30,000 this time around. Making a difference this morning, the Yakima City Council signed a proclamation to make this August 29th Overdose Awareness Day. The decision comes after 144 Yakima residents died of an overdose in 2024. The City Council says Overdose Awareness Day is supposed to acknowledge the hardships of drug overdoses and show support for those who have lost family members and friends. International Overdose Day occurs every year on August 31st. And staying in Yakima, Yakima Public Schools is gearing up for back-to-school season, and one elementary school has a unique plan to get kids prepared. Apple Valley News Now's Caleb Stipkovitz tells us what Garfield Elementary School has up its sleeve.
On Wednesday morning, teachers from Yakima's Garfield Elementary School ventured off campus for an annual tradition, visiting their students' homes the week before school. Teachers went door to door to introduce themselves to students and their families and answer any questions they have about the upcoming school year. Oh, and the teachers didn't show up empty-handed.
The families of every student are being given one of these, a folder that comes with a calendar, a manual in English or Spanish, and a wristband with the school theme on it.
This year's theme is to roar like a tiger. This is the third year Garfield Elementary School has done home visits. Assistant Principal Michelle Qualo says this tradition helps teachers make important connections.
Not everybody's there when we knock on the door, but we're always sure to touch base again with the families at the beginning of the year. But a lot of families are there and kids are excited to see us coming around again.
Qualo says that to her knowledge, Garfield is the only school in the district and maybe even the Yakima Valley to do home visits. And so far, the school has found success with the program. Qualo believes the visits have helped teachers build a better partnership with families.
We want to make sure that families know that school's starting and that they're welcomed, and we're kind of wanting teachers to have the chance to go and meet the families. And so when you have a strong family-school partnership, we know that students do better.
Garfield students are back to school next week. Reporting from Yakima, Caleb Stipkovitz, Apple Valley News Now.
Thank you, Caleb. And Garfield teachers were also treated to a free lunch from several local restaurants as they made their visits. Talking sports now, high school football is back in action across Washington. So yesterday marked the first official football practice of the season for high schools in the state. Padded practices officially begin this Saturday. Rules require the first 3 sessions to be no contact with helmets only. Over the summer, teams have focused on conditioning, lifting sessions, and occasional 7-on-7 drills. Now players and coaches can come together for full practices, running the plays and building team chemistry ahead of the season.
Just to see where we're at. We're hoping we don't have to start over. That's what spring's all about. So we're hoping those kids that have been around all summer and the guys that did all the 7-on-7 with us this summer, we're just picking up and running. Those that weren't around, they got a lot of makeup to do and they're a little behind. So they got to get caught up real quick because, that's the way it goes. We can't slow down for them. They got to catch up to us. But right now we had a good first day and very proud of our guys.
It's a quick turnaround for the teams as the first football games start just 2 weeks away in the first week of September. And keep it here because coming up, as schools begin to welcome students back, a mix of emotions could be hitting both you and your child. We're breaking down the signs of anxiety and how parents can help this upcoming school year. It's all coming up right after the break.
The 3-Degree Guarantee, sponsored by Legends Casino Hotel.
Let's get it on. Let's play.
Yeah. The Feud has 2 Emmy nominations.
Grandma, he smells really good.
Name something your mate's booty has in common with the basketball.
It bounces.
Emmy-nominated Celebrity Family Feud. Tonight, 8/7 Central on ABC.
Overturf Kia has officially relocated to Pasco, offering faster service and a brand new state-of-the-art facility designed for maximum customer service satisfaction. Experience? Drive-in climate-controlled service entrance for comfort and convenience. Expanded service capability with top-of-the-line bays to serve you better and faster. Comprehensive parts department. Relaxing customer lounge and refreshments. Great selection of high-quality and warranty-backed certified pre-owned Kias. Larger new car inventory with over 100 vehicles in stock, including hard-to-find hybrids and EVs, all ready to drive home. Grand opening specials include a new 2025 Kia K4 LXS with all the popular options, just $23,015. Shop online anytime. Overturf Kia, south of the Road 100 roundabout on St. Thomas Drive in Pasco.
Right now, U.S. Cellular makes it easy to switch and get $1,000 off any phone with no trade-in.
No trade-in? But we're willing to trade in our teeth.
Nope. You don't have to trade your teeth in or an old phone.
I like that.
Yeah, your parents get an amazing deal.
I almost lost this one.
Yeah. You get to leave your tooth under your pillow.
For me, it's tooth fairy time.
Get $1,000 off any phone with no trade-in, and we'll pay off your current contract when you switch. U.S. Cellular, built for us.
Kittitas Valley Healthcare is your trusted home for health, offering expert orthopedic care for your family. With over 55 years of combined experience, our team uses state-of-the-art equipment to improve surgical outcomes and provide compassionate, patient-centered care. We're committed to making your experience comfortable and efficient, so you can stay active and healthy. Learn more and schedule a consultation through our website at kvhealthcare.org. Your home for health.
Oh, it's mesmerizing.
I can't look away.
Cleaning that greasy mess?
And not even scrubbing.
Well, fluff my feathers.
Dawn Platinum is bringing it.
You know it. It cuts through the grease better than their old dish soap.
Keep quacking.
Platinum breaks down the slimy stuff it would leave behind, removing 99% of grease and food residue. That's why only Dawn is trusted to save wildlife.
Yeah.
I'd fly south for a clean like that.
Dawn Platinum, the better grease getter.
All across America.
Good morning. Good morning.
Wherever we are, it feels like home.
Man, it's good to be home.
GMA, it's an invitation to come together and brighten your morning.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Let's go ahead and take you on a zone-by-zone tour of today's forecast. We start off in Kittitas County. Lots of sunshine here. Pretty normal high temperatures for this time of the year, but we will be a good deal hotter today in the Cascades. Around 80 for Snoqualmie Pass, around 85 in Ellensburg, closer to 90 in Vantage. Then in the Yakima Valley, highs also around 90, really up and down the valley. Light wind gust here, light winds as well in the lower Columbia Basin. These highs going to be around 90. If not, we could see highs getting up to around 92 for the Hanford site, Benton City, and for Umatilla. Then in the Blue Foothills, going to be in the mid to upper 80s for the Morrow County foothills, low 90s, or even some upper 80s perhaps in the foothills of Umatilla and Walla Walla counties. Then 70s and 80s for the highest terrain of the Blue Mountains. A little bit breezy here today in the foothills with some of those breezes out of the north and east, and that's going to bring some pretty dry air into the region, so we'll watch that very closely. We're also watching this vegetation dryness. For today, it's going to be critically dry for lower elevations. Thankfully, with the lack of very strong wind gusts, that's going to limit the fire start potential. But look, as we head into Saturday, which is going to be the first day where we'll have a real shot of hitting 100 degrees in the Tri-Cities at least, you can see more widespread critically dry vegetation at this point, not only for lower elevations but also up into the Cascades. And I'll show you the heat that's going to feed into this. It's a pretty prolonged stretch of heat. That's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. Now it is back to school season, and we know that for students, they're not all looking forward to getting out of bed every morning to head to school. But if you feel your child is wanting to avoid the classroom more than usual, experts say something else could be at play. This morning, Mandy Gaither has the not so obvious warning signs of emotional distress in students, and she also has how parents can help.
It isn't always easy getting out of the door for school, and while experts say it's normal for a student to not want to head to class every now and again, when it becomes a pattern, there may be a problem.
Maybe it's that they're not fitting in at school, they're experiencing bullying or just nervous about socializing. It may be a sign of a mental health concern like anxiety or depression. It may also be that they have a learning disability that hasn't been diagnosed yet.
Pediatric psychologist Ariana Howitt with Nationwide Children's Hospital says emotional distress may not look the same in children as it does adults. Warning signs may include behavior changes, tantrums, irritability, and anger. There may also be physical symptoms like stomach aches, headaches, and nausea, which could also signal a mental health concern like anxiety.
As parents, we want to often shield our kids from those difficult emotions. What happens though is if we let a child avoid, stay home from school, it actually makes the anxiety grow.
Instead, Howitt encourages parents to sit down with the child and get to the root of the problem. Validate what they're feeling, let them know you understand, then work together to problem solve.
If a child is feeling nervous about, let's say, socializing with others, then we practice those social skills at home. We practice them out in different environments so that when they do them at school, they feel more confident.
For Health Minute.
Howitt says the more experience a child has with something that's scary, the easier it becomes to manage that worry. She says it's all about maintaining a healthy balance by allowing children to feel their emotions, but also arming them with coping skills so that they can face what they fear. Keep it here because coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, we've got your morning sprint, everything you need to know before you head out the door. And Josh is back with your full First Alert weather forecast. It's all coming up in just a few minutes.
The $7,500 federal tax credit for eligible electric vehicles is ending. Must take delivery by September 30th, 2025. Visit your Yakima and Tri-Cities Cadillac dealer today.
Summer adventure awaits in a rugged new Honda. It's time to chase the sun wherever it takes you. With impressive Honda capability and exciting performance. From the Kelley Blue Book Best Value brand. Right now, you can get a 3.99% APR on a 2026 CR-V hybrid.
Hi, I'm Christine Connolly, local realtor with As You Wish Real Estate Team. I offer negotiable commission, 100% free staging, and top-notch marketing. I'm a proud sponsor of Operation Best Friend. Remember, you only get one chance to make a first impression. As you wish.
The new stone-baked pizza mold from Frigidaire. For restaurant quality, it's dough to done in 2 minutes. Dare to expect more from your oven. Frigidaire.
Welcome to Nob Hill Casino, your premier gaming destination. Experience the thrill of a Vegas-style casino featuring the friendliest dealers in town. Join our Players Club and unlock exclusive rewards every time you play. Challenge your skills at our 16-lane bowling alley. Unwind with a drink at our cozy bar or enjoy breakfast, lunch, or dinner at the Last Frontier. The ultimate entertainment experience has something for everyone. Nob Hill Casino, where locals come to win.
Why do patients and families immediately think of Good Shepherd? They trust our knowledge and expertise. They value the compassionate care we provide. They feel like they are being taken care of by family. From our renowned doctors and top-of-the-line technology to our state-of-the-art facilities, Good Shepherd Healthcare System. Patients first, always.
Judy Justice, today at 4 on Apple Valley News Now.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Today is going to be a terrific day to be outside as long as you have the sunscreen and the water on hand. We'll have plenty of sunshine from the Cascades to the Blues and high temperatures that are still going to be normal for this time of the year. So 70s up in the Cascades, 70s and 80s in the Blues, and then 80s and 90s for lower elevations, maybe just a touch hotter compared to yesterday. Wind gusts not as strong as yesterday, although will be a little bit breezy in the Blue Mountains and the Blue Foothills. Some of those gusts out of the north and east, that could bring some very dry air into the regions. We'll be watching that very closely for any fire starts. Then for tonight, clear skies. Overnight low is going to be down into the 50s across the map, so pretty cool to comfortable out there. And then for tomorrow, this is really going to be the first day of our much hotter weather, although we're going to be much closer to 100 for Saturday. But at this point, about 5 degrees hotter than normal for this time of the year, so 70s and 80s for mountain ranges. All of us for lower elevations going to be in the 90s. The question is, what part of the 90s are you going to be a part of? Low 90s in the Kittitas Valley, mid to upper 90s in the lower Columbia Basin, mid 90s in the Yakima Valley and the Walla Walla Valley. Wind gusts this time a little bit more widespread, and you see a lot of gusts out of the north and east this time. So this will continue to put some very dry air into the region. Not technically a first alert weather day, but again, we're going to be watching the fire potential very close. We still have a few more days of the Benton Franklin Fair and Rodeo, and today is going to be the nicest day to get out there, as it is going to be a good deal hotter for Friday and Saturday. Thankfully, some breezes for both of those days. That's going to make it feel a little bit cooler out there, but this is going to be a sustained stretch of highs around 100 in the Tri-Cities, really from Saturday through Wednesday, and that's going to place us at about 10 degrees hotter than normal for this time of the year. Also tracking some little thunderstorm chances up in the Cascades and the Blues for Monday and Tuesday. We'll see what that does in terms of our fire potential as well. Here's a 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Today will be the coolest day we'll have over the next 7 days by a long shot, likely hitting 100 degrees Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. In Yakima, upper 80s Thursday, mid 90s Friday and Saturday, then a run of 99s. In Ellensburg, staying dry and heating up, although highs could start to fall off a bit by the middle of next week. In Hermiston, also a hot and dry forecast with the best chances of triple digits being Monday and Tuesday. And finally for Walla Walla, one last day of highs in the 80s before it's a 90s takeover from Friday through Wednesday at least.
Now, the morning sprint.
Time is 5:51. It's time for your morning sprint in our 5 o'clock hour, and we're starting off with the top 5 local things you need to know this morning. First up in Pasco, a home and its contents are a total loss after a fire tore through it yesterday afternoon. Firefighters say it happened at the Lakeview Mobile Home Park near Highway 12. Officials say the resident noticed smoke after turning on the air conditioner. They quickly grabbed their 11-month-old baby before running outside. Multiple agencies responded and arrived to find heavy black smoke pouring from the home. Crews contained the fire before it spread to nearby homes or vegetation. No injuries were reported, but the cause remains under investigation. The DOE's Hanford field office will activate sirens today, and this is part of an emergency drill. The sirens will sound between 12:30 and 1:30 this afternoon. This will be in the 300 area near the Columbia River, about a mile north of Richland. If you hear the sirens, know that no response is needed. Announcements on the speakers will remind everyone that it is just a drill. The city of Yakima has officially designated August 29th as Overdose Awareness Day. This comes after 144 residents died of overdoses in 2024. The day is meant to acknowledge the hardships of drug overdoses and to also show support for families and friends who have lost loved ones. International Overdose Awareness Day is observed every year on August 31st. And while business applications are falling nationwide, Benton and Franklin counties are seeing growth. New U.S. Census Bureau numbers show more than 3,000 business applications were filed locally in 2024, which is up more than 5% from the year before, and also the strongest growth for the Tri-Cities area since 2017. Experts say the increase could be tied to local business development efforts and also Washington's economy. And statewide, Washington led the nation with nearly 89% growth in new business applications. And if you're heading to the fair this week, Ben Franklin Transit is offering free rides from today through Saturday. Shuttles will run from 6 park and ride locations across the Tri-Cities. This includes Knight Street Transit Center, Kamiakin High School, and 22nd Avenue. Shuttles run from 9 in the morning to midnight, hourly in the morning, and every half hour starting at 4 p.m. At Lamson Stadium in Kennewick, pickups are even faster, every 30 minutes in the morning and every 15 minutes later in the day. In your national headlines this morning, the Menendez brothers, behind bars for more than 30 years, could soon earn their freedom. Eric Menendez will appear before California's parole board today, and he, along with his brother Lyle, were convicted of murdering their parents in 1989. They were both sentenced to life in prison with no parole, but they were resentenced to 50 years to life earlier this year with the possibility of parole. Even if parole is granted, it still has to be approved by Governor Gavin Newsom. In your business news, a popular gym is facing a lawsuit from the Federal Trade Commission for making it too hard for consumers to cancel their memberships. The lawsuit involves California-based Fitness International and Fitness and Sports Clubs, which operates LA Fitness and other gym chains. The two companies have more than 600 locations and more than 3.7 million members nationwide. The FTC's complaint says LA Fitness uses complicated methods going beyond requiring people to cancel in person or via mail, and therefore making it extremely difficult to cancel. In your health headlines, more than 750 current and former staffers at the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services have sent a message to HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. as well as Congress. In the letter, they urged Kennedy to, quote, stop spreading inaccurate health information. It comes after a gunman fired hundreds of rounds at the Atlanta headquarters of the U.S. CDC on August 8th. The letter makes its point that the shooting happened as mistrust in public institutions is growing. Talking sports now, a former coach at a famed Iowa gymnastics center is facing federal child pornography charges. West Des Moines police say Sean Gardner allegedly used a hidden camera to film underage gymnasts as they were changing clothes. He was suspended from Chow's Gymnastics and Dance Institute in 2022 after an athlete reported him for inappropriate contact. Now, during the investigation, police found videos from the gym where he previously worked in Mississippi. ESPN reports Gardner is being held in Iowa pending the proceedings in Mississippi. All right, taking a look at what's trending this morning. It still may be summer, but Dunkin' is already thinking ahead to the fall.
That's right. Wednesday, Dunkin' released its fall menu, and it includes some fan favorites as well as a couple of new items.
I'm assuming pumpkin spice lattes.
Perhaps that might be in the mix. That includes the Mixed Berry Daydream Refresher, which is another collaboration with Sabrina Carpenter. There's also the new cereal and milk latte. It combines espresso with cereal milk to create a marshmallow cereal flavor.
Okay, if they're collaborating with Sabrina Carpenter, they better have something espresso flavored.
Yes.
So that makes sense. And of course, you can't have fall without all things pumpkin. As far as food goes, there's the new iced pumpkin loaf, or you can try fan favorite pumpkin donuts and munchkins, which are both returning. And customers can wash those treats down with the pumpkin spice signature latte. Are you a pumpkin person?
I'm not. I don't
No?
really like pumpkin flavoring. I do love carving a nice good pumpkin. And you know, at the beginning of the month, I was like, it's a little too early for the fall stuff to start getting rolled out. At this point, we're in the doggiest days of summer, so I'm okay with it now.
Yay! We got one. All right. Okay, I like pumpkin flavored things, but I'll usually just get one pumpkin spice latte like at the beginning of fall, and then I'm kind of over it. I'm done. And then I go back to Americanos.
Just the one.
Yeah, I like my coffee black and like espresso and Americano,
Sure.
so.
But the pumpkin spice smell, that is very nostalgic.
It's
Really
the
like
smell,
it.
you're right, absolutely. All right, keep it here because coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, families in Richland came together for fun and support at the Community Autism Support Partnership Summer Play Day, giving kids a chance to connect. And our crews were there, and we'll show you how this small get-together made a huge impact. Plus, the race is on to become the TSA's top dog. 2 canines are battling for the calendar cover, and you can help pick the winner. We'll tell you how coming up in our 6 o'clock hour. And Josh, what are you tracking?
Mother Nature said, pumpkin who? This is sunglasses and sunburn kind of weather. So I will tell you just how hot we could be getting as we head into the weekend. And for next week, that's going to be coming up on Good Morning Northwest at 6.